Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
All right. This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I am here with Jerk Joel.
Wow, that's mean. Hey guys, what's up?
You're such a jerk.
I am a jerk. You're right.
All right. So, today we are going to review a brand new film, James Wan's Malignant.
Brand spanking new.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just came out yesterday from the time we're recording this. So,
yep.
It is very fresh. It's drummed up a lot of conversation online. People are talking about it all over. It's the new Candyman for the week.
Yeah, pretty much.
It'll be talked about until what's next coming out. I don't know. I mean, it's probably the biggest movie until Halloween Kills comes out.
Something comes out October 1st, I thought, but something big.
Well,
it'll be the number one talked about thing until the next thing comes around. So.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about it. Who was in it?
Well, let's do that. All right, so this one stars Annabelle Wallis. She plays Madison.
Okay.
She was in Annabelle. Go figure. Boss Level, which came out this year, which is a pretty good movie. She was in a comedy called Tag.
Oh, Tag?
Yeah.
I like that movie. Oh,
yeah, that's
so
a good
fun.
movie. And about 19 episodes of Peaky Blinders, which I've actually been wanting to check out sometime. I just haven't done it yet on Netflix. Also, Maddie Hassan, however you say her name. She's Sydney, her sister. And she was in I Saw the Light, the Hank Williams story.
Oh.
Yeah, We Summon the Darkness, and 20 episodes of Impulse, whatever that is.
Okay.
And we've got George Young. He is Detective Shaw, or Kakoa Shaw.
Yeah.
So, of all the names you could have chosen for,
yeah,
at least it's an original one.
Yeah. And they say his whole name too, like throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Kakoa Shaw. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I was hoping like Cocoa, like it's spelled like Coco.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's spelled with a K. Like, oh man, missed opportunity. Coco Shaw. He was in a movie called Love, ... and Other Bad Habits.
Oh.
In the Room, and the series Containment. I've heard of it. I just haven't seen that.
Okay.
That show. It only lasted like one season. It's a great show. It was written by James Wan. He actually did the story, so he didn't like do the screenplay or anything. I'm not entirely sure what that exactly entails, what that means. Like he just came up with an idea of a movie, and he gets credit for it because most of his movies are story by, not screenplay or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm guessing he doesn't like write the line by line script. You know,
he's not the screenplay.
Kind of comes up with more of like the blueprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He wrote Stygian, which was his first movie he ever did. Kind of want to check that out since I've never even heard of it before. Dead Silence and The Nun. And then also Akilah Cooper. She did the story and the screenplay. And she is credited for Hellfest.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, but it's definitely on my list.
We got to do that one for Halloween. It's
okay.
a Halloween.
That'll be one of our October ones.
Yeah.
As if our October's not full enough, but...
yeah, no, not at all.
We'll slide it in there at some point. 4 episodes of Luke Cage and The Nun 2.
What?
Yeah, they're making a sequel to the worst movie in the Conjuring series.
Oh, James Wan. Well, no, that's not James Wan. That's this other girl. Okay.
Well, yeah, he did the story of The Nun, but I don't know about The Nun 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's attached to that. He is attached to The Crooked Man.
Oh, yes.
Another spin-off.
All right. They need to stop with the Conjuring stuff. Let's focus on Malignant from now on.
I like The Conjuring. Malignant. It's a horror icon now.
yes. It can become one.
And Ingrid Bisou, this one had like three writers, also did the story, so not the screenplay. There's only one screenplay writer for this.
Okay.
She did, Ingrid. Super YOLO Show, which is a miniseries. And this is a totally French word. I'm going to just totally butcher this name, but Cafeo de Dimignata, which is a TV series.
Right. Good job.
And thank you. I'm fluent in French, as you can see. And this was directed by James Wan. Now, I did more than 3 for him because I want to show his... The thing with Malignant is that it's different. It's very different from the other horror movies that he's done.
Yeah.
So I want to show off that he's not like this one-trick pony. He actually does a lot of different types of horror and just genres in general.
Yeah.
So he's done Saw. He directed Saw, Death Sentence, which is not a horror movie, but it's a very good movie. Mm-hmm. The Conjuring, Furious 7, Aquaman, and Insidious. And he's also a co-director of Insidious, the next Insidious movie that comes out.
Ah, yes.
So he is going to be involved in that, which is another series that we still have to do.
Yes. All right.
So yeah, he is a very... One thing about him is he's a very unique director.
Yeah.
In that he does pretty much everything.
Yeah.
He can do everything. So.
Okay, so the synopsis here. Madison is paralyzed by shocking visions of grisly murders, and her torment worsens as she discovers that these waking dreams are in fact terrifying realities.
Oh, man.
So that is what the trailer...
That's a very basic plot, but okay.
That's, it's a really cool plot just reading that, and that's kind of what the trailer presents it as. But it's definitely a lot more than that.
Yeah. Do you want to have a spoiler section at the end of this, or not even?
I don't think we should
with that at all.
Yeah, I don't think we should do spoilers. I think we'll talk about it after we stop recording.
Okay.
Talk about more specific spoilers, because I don't think I want to. And I think when I post this, I'm going to title it "Spoiler Free" for this.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that cool?
Spoiler filled. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
It just has a very unique and different ending. So
yeah.
So I wanted to talk about it at some point, but we can do that after we're done recording. That's fine. So yeah, Malignant.
So weird movie.
An experience.
Yeah, weird movie. But I just think it was a badass movie. I had so much fun with it. I thought it was so unique. And I will say, I don't know if this is really a spoiler, but this movie is definitely a slasher.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially the third act of the movie. Really turns into one.
But overall,
like in this movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of kills for sure, and some like good ones.
And they show most of them too, which is not something that's done very often anymore.
Yeah, it was some good kills.
And unless you're James Wan, because Saw.
Yeah, kind of showed that
shows
a little
all
bit.
The deaths,
just a little bit.
Even his non-horror death sentence gets pretty intense.
Oh yeah, that's a heavy movie.
And it is.
It's like a revenge drama thriller, I guess. But it's pretty gruesome.
Mm-hmm. So he doesn't shy away.
No.
From showing
some
showing
stuff.
what people who really go to a lot of people who go to horror movies want to see.
Yeah.
Because, they want to see the blood. A story is always something that people want to see too. Yeah. But in the back of everyone's mind who is a horror fan, they want to see the carnage.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, especially
that stuff.
This movie was perfect for me. I'm going to say right now, this is my favorite movie of the year.
Oh wow.
So far. Yeah. This is up there.
All right.
As you'll see with my score.
Your top 10 of the year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This one should be on the list. I've been keeping track, even movies that we don't review. I put a little note in my phone and give it a score. So then at the end of the year, I can kind of look back. I'm definitely giving this one the highest score out of all the movies I've seen.
Have you heard of the, oh wow, nice.
This year.
Have you heard of the app Letterboxd?
Yeah, I could use that too to kind of keep my top 10 ready.
Yeah, I had it for, I got it in July. The 1st of July. I was like, I'm gonna put every movie that I watch going forward in the Letterboxd.
Yeah.
And I made it a whole one day. It's I don't even think about it. It's just it's a fairly new app for me, so it's after watching a movie I don't really think about just adding it into an app.
Yeah.
But you can give them scores and review or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I didn't know you could give it a score and everything. So, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
It's out of 5 stars or something.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so let's talk about things that we liked. So, Joel, what did you like? You're not gonna be as high on this, I guess, as I am. So
not as much. No. Okay. I mean, I enjoyed it for the most part. It was definitely what I wanted. I mean, I already talked about James Wan and the fact that he's definitely a different type of filmmaker. And this one, if any of them prove that he was a different type of filmmaker, this movie did.
Yeah. Nothing ever like it has been made that I've seen.
No. And that's one thing, one positive that I will say about it. It's very original. Especially when you get to the end of the movie, it takes on a very original type of a story. I was rolling my eyes at a certain point because I thought that I knew where it was going, but then it took a different turn than I was expecting.
Okay,
while still kind of being the type of movie that I thought it was going to be.
I think that's what's genius about it.
Yeah,
because it's I think there's an obvious direction you can see the movie going, and it goes there, but not really.
But
at
then
the same time,
sort of a twist, but at the same time, it's still. We're gonna.
You sound a little annoyed.
No, I'm not annoyed. I'm just trying to think of exactly how to phrase it without actually saying it, especially this soon into our episode. I really don't want to give anything away this quickly. But I really liked that that part of it. The music was cool. I really liked the music in this movie, especially after the opening music after that very first scene, where it's showing the credits and everything. That music was really cool.
That was awesome. It really gets you like, okay, I'm about to watch a really cool movie. Like it kind of gets you in the mood. Like I started watching this at like 11 p.m. And I saw it was almost 2-hour movie, and I'm like, all right, we'll see if I can like get through it. If not, I'll just have to stop it, watch in the morning. And like after that first scene, which also was not at all how I expected the movie to start.
Oh no. Yeah.
And then that music hits, and I'm like, okay, I'm awake now. Let's go.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was a really cool opening, really awesome way of starting the movie.
Yeah.
And I really liked the story. The story was really cool, really good. Like I was saying, very original type of a movie, type of story. Like you were saying, it's not something that's been done before. Lots of gore, lots of killing in this movie. I mean, it is throughout the entire movie, but there's at least one scene in particular that's just like it's a bloodbath.
Yes. I was totally not expecting that at all watching this movie.
I wasn't either.
Like going into it, I'm not expecting that scene. Like
yeah. I was like, oh, this is the Conjuring director, and I was like, oh, this is also the Saw director, so
yeah.
It can go either way with him. So yeah, that scene was intense and awesome. And I mean, I liked. There were just a couple of things that I didn't like about this movie. It was just, and those things kind of to me were big, but at the same time not very big. I'll get into those when I get into the negatives.
Okay.
The effects for the most part, minus one scene that I can't really talk about, but I'll try as much as I can, were really good. Like it was showing people who haven't seen it, who saw the trailer for it, it kind of showed part of it where all around her the rooms just started like changing and everything, and that was really cool seeing that like in the theater. And it happened a few times. It happened like 3 or 4 different times, and that was really cool. And
when I saw that in the trailer, that was like kind of turning me off. I'm like, I don't want it to be all CGI looking, But when you actually watch the movie, it looks good. It doesn't look super CGI fake. It looks good.
Yeah. And that was one of the cool scenes of the movie for sure. And it was just, I mean, it really was a good movie. I just probably wouldn't put it as high as you are putting it.
Oh, I'm buying this movie. I am buying this movie for sure. It might be, I mean, I'm going to have to see it a few more times because I've seen, well, no, never mind. I was going to say it might be my favorite James Wan, but that'll always be Saw. So, I don't think anything's going to top Saw.
It's probably somewhere in the middle for me.
Yeah. It might be number 2 for me. I mean, Saw's probably always going to be number 1. The Conjuring, the first one, and this are like, they're very, very different. Very different movies. This one is more of a fun horror movie. Where Conjuring is very much a very serious, no laughing to be had watching that one.
Yeah. This one definitely, it doesn't surprise me that you like this one so much because it kind of has that Halloween 5 campiness to it.
Yes, it does. And everybody knows I love Halloween 5. And there's going to be a new scene coming out for that. Have you heard about this?
For Halloween?
For Halloween 5.
I did
There's
hear about that.
There's a deleted scene or something?
Yeah, it's going to be included in their next collection of 1 through 5, 1 through 6 movies. Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah, it's probably gonna be some stupid 2-minute additional it was cut for a reason.
Right. But yeah, no, that's a good point. That this is definitely campy. My favorite stuff in this movie. Well, I loved the third act. So we're getting like I'm like an hour and 15 minutes in. I would say the third act is probably like a half hour or so. So I'm, over an hour into it. So it's after midnight at this point, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm just going to go to sleep. This is a good movie, but maybe I want to watch it, when I'm more awake. And then
you woke up.
And then I woke up. Yeah. Then I could not just turn it off. It was too cool, too awesome. Some of the stuff that was just great was there would be like a line said that would be like, it was supposed to be like this big deal or something. So someone would say something and then the music would hit like this like 80s like electronic music, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too good.
There was I don't know if it's, I don't think it's a spoiler at all, but I think one of the moments you're talking about, which is kind of like it, so her and her sister are talking and she goes, I just want to have a connection with what was the quote that she was saying?
I want to have like a blood connection.
A blood connection with someone. And her sister's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I was adopted when I was 8. And like her face, the sister's face is like, looked like she just told her that she like killed her daughter or something. It's like, what the? Okay. Is it that big of a like deal?
And then the music hits like, no. Oh my gosh. I loved it. And it's like purposeful, this is, it's done to make you kind of laugh and to kind of get you into the movie a little bit, I loved all of those scenes, and there wasn't too much. So it wasn't like a spoof, it was, I feel like it was sprinkled in nicely to kind of grab your attention and pull you in. So obviously the music, I loved the music in it. I loved all the camera work. Was really cool. A lot
with
of
her
like
husband in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Or like seeing the camera as he's walking in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like the camera is just like angled, like it's on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like following him.
Yeah.
The camera work in this was really good.
Yeah. Really cool, really unique. And he did that with Saw, some of the like zooming and flashing and, quick camera movements and stuff. He definitely does that in this one, especially with that one huge scene. There's a lot of camera rotations going on there.
Yeah, there are.
But yeah, I mean, this is an experience. This movie is an experience. And I even found it to be kind of scary at times. I kind of found it to like, I'm watching this by myself. It's like midnight. And, I kind of like looked around for a second. And like, cause this thing, I guess we'll say for now, that's killing everybody, it's kind of creepy, and it talks. And
that was another one of my positives. How it talks is through radio waves, which is awesome. Like, it's not, that's like another thing that hasn't really been done before,
right? And the voice was so cool. And I love phone calls in horror movies. I think that should be used more, because it's
not
just
too much more, because I don't want it to be something that's overly used.
Right. But I just love it. Like, there's something about getting a phone call from someone you don't know, and like, I don't know, it's creepy.
That's why we have voicemail.
Yeah.
I'm not answering a call that says anonymous on it. I'm sorry.
And it's all staticky.
Yeah. No, so you're messing up my phone. Like
the killer is awesome. The weapon is so clever. I love that. I've heard some people comparing this to Sam Raimi. What do you think about that?
I can kind of see it.
Yeah.
When you actually see the twist was very Sam Raimi to me.
Okay.
As far as, what or who I guess, the character is. There was, when you actually see it, it definitely is a Sam Raimi type character. Like,
yeah.
That's just that there's no other way of saying it besides that.
I can
definitely see it. But then again, I think James Wan likes Sam Raimi because in Annabelle Creation, there was a scene that was very Sam Raimi like too. I don't think he directed that one though, but I think he did produce it. But yeah, there is very Sam Raimi-ness to that one as well.
And the campiness of it, like the Evil Dead films are pretty campy. So
yeah.
And Drag Me to Hell is pretty campy at times.
Yeah, it was. At times, like the whole movie.
yeah.
I still love it. It's still a great movie. But yeah, so I can definitely see a comparison there. Okay. Not a very big one, but I can definitely see why people would compare it to Sam Raimi.
Okay, cool.
That's one I haven't heard before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw it a couple times when I was looking at reviews after watching it.
I just saw on our horror group page that it's come between a lot of people.
Yeah. A lot of people are not liking it.
Movie or you hate this movie.
Yeah. I could totally see that. I could see people just rolling their eyes at it and thinking this is so stupid.
Yeah. There's at least one scene that is just, and it's too bad I can't even talk about it, but they'll see it when
all right, well, let's talk about some negatives.
Okay.
Go ahead. What do you got?
I know it's supposed to be campy. Having said that, the acting was not great. I do like Annabelle Wallis's scream. She does have a very loud lung-full scream. She could definitely be a contender for a Scream Queen at some point. But the acting is not great for me.
Okay.
It's not horrible either, so I should probably just put this as a neutral. But I think I was just kind of expecting slightly more from James Wan. Okay. I did go into this with kind of high expectations because I've really liked most, if not every, James Wan movie that I've seen.
Yeah.
And so I think that was part of my problem as well, is that I did have high expectations for it. And I wasn't really expecting the campiness of this movie.
I was a little prepared because I had
really?
Yeah, I had been kind of looking things up about it ahead of time. And so I did read a couple of things about campiness and how it's very different. So I was a little prepared to not expect The Conjuring or something like that. Yeah.
I think I was. I think I was expecting The Conjuring. I think I was expecting something like way serious because the trailers aren't campy at all.
No.
Like the trailers actually made it seem like a Conjuring type movie.
Yeah.
And so when it wasn't, I mean, it probably took my score down just slightly for that. Not like a whole letter grade or anything like that. It's just, but I just wasn't really expecting it. But I did get used to it towards like the middle of the movie, and it didn't really bother me after that. And another negative. For some reason, for a lot of movies that we do, it's actually easier to come up with positives and negatives. Even though
we've been watching some good movies.
We have been. We've been watching some pretty bad ones too. With those, it's the complete opposite. Though.
Yeah.
It's hard to come up with positives than negatives. They're not all A movies.
Yeah.
And with like I was saying with the positives, one of my positives was the effects. Is also a negative of mine too, and I'm not putting it in neutral just because there were really cool moments in special effects in this movie. And then there was one scene in particular that had some pretty cheap B-rated effects to it.
Are you talking about a scene?
The reveal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
It was yeah, I am. And it was pretty Sam Raimi
Yeah.
like and pretty cheesy looking. So it's like I love Sam Raimi. So I'm used to that with his movies. But I'm not used to that with James Wan.
Yeah, you're not expecting that. It threw me off too. I was like, wow, okay. And then that's when it really kicks up. The movie really just takes off from there.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's pretty close to where that bloodbath is.
Yeah.
In that scene. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, it was just that one scene, and the acting, even though I know it's campy, it's supposed to be kind of cheesy acting. But it's, I don't know. It didn't do it for me.
Okay. All right. Okay. So for me, they kind of set up, these rules, especially toward the end of the movie. You're on board. Maybe you're not, or maybe some people aren't, but you're supposed to be on board with what is happening. And it's supposed to be explaining things. But I still have a good amount of questions with how these things actually worked out, because some of it you can kind of poke holes into, and you can be like, okay, well, if this is what you're trying to tell me, then how did that happen? Or whatever. You can really tear it apart if you wanted to. So there's that, which a lot of times that'll really bug me if there's like plot holes. But this is so ambitious and so out there and so campy that it didn't bother me as much as it would if this was more of a serious movie.
Yeah, but the thing with that also is James Wan's movies don't typically have plot holes. Yeah. So the fact that he made a movie that does have plot holes, is kind of, I don't know. That also kind of takes away. I know it's ambitious and it's campy. It's it is what it is, but he's not that type of director. Right.
Well, see, you're looking at it from this is a James Wan movie rather than this is a movie. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
I'm trying to say the movie
it's
itself.
Not like he's done one or two movies that it's like, okay, well, we don't really we don't quite know what this director's, we don't know much about this director, but he's done more than enough movies at this point to where plot holes for a director that doesn't have plot holes in his movies, it shows a lot more. Yeah. If you have one movie as opposed to all of his movies have plot holes in them, so it's like, that's just the type of director he is. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a negative to have plot holes in a movie with a director that doesn't have them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so you're definitely showing how the expectations you had for this. Because if it was just Joel Mayberry directed,
it'd be 110%.
No, if it was Bob Smith directed, and this was a straight to Shudder movie, the expectations would be much lower and maybe it wouldn't bother you as much.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
If I didn't know anything about James Wan, or I had never seen a movie of his, or if this was his first movie he's ever done, then my expectations wouldn't be there. Like, I wouldn't have expectations. It'd be like, oh, trailer looks good, looks like a good movie, I'm gonna go see it.
Right.
But because he is an established director at this point, he is a very well known, one of my favorite modern horror directors out there. So I mean, I try not to have expectations for movies going in, because most of the time you are disappointed when you come out. Yeah. When you have expectations, so I try not to have them at all. But I was really looking forward to this movie. Yeah. From the trailers, and I was like, this is one movie that I need to see in theaters and not on HBO. Yeah. Max. So I had to go see it, and I did enjoy it. It was a fun movie, but there were definitely, things about it that isn't the director, basically, that he did in this movie.
Yeah,
so.
It's not up to his standards.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, there's some plot holes that you can find to make it kind of not make sense. But it doesn't bother me as much as it would if this movie was taking itself seriously the whole time. Yeah. So I can kind of let it slide a little bit. It's still a negative. But it's not as big of a negative as I would typically hold it as. So so there's that. And then so I can talk about this is where I'm going to talk about James Wan. The ending, the very, very end. So like the last few minutes of the movie reminds me of how The Conjuring ended. Conjuring 2. It's kind of sudden. It's kind of just wrapped up and real quick, and I was like, no, don't end it like that. Like I wanted a different ending, we'll say. I didn't want it to end the way it did. And so it was kind of like, that's kind of weak.
It ended on like a Hallmark moment. Yeah, it was pretty lame.
That's what I mean. Yeah, with The Conjuring, same thing. Like they, remember the day at the beach, and then she's cured, and then everybody's hugging, and it's kind of corny. Yeah, and this one kind of has that kind of corny ending too. So I thought it could have ended much better, much darker, and it would have been way cooler. So the ending kind of lame, but I can see, and I mean, whether it's ended dark or how it did, I could see this becoming a franchise.
Oh yeah. I can't. Yeah, I'm hoping that it did well enough. The negative part of having it go to HBO Max is that you give your audience a choice, whether to watch in theaters or watch it at home. So I really hope that they don't take the numbers, the box office numbers, into account, because I'm sure that it's going to be relatively low, because everyone's going to watch this at home. Right. If they didn't give them a choice and people had to see it in theaters, their numbers would be a lot higher than they're probably going to be. Yeah.
I wonder how they measure that. I'm sure there has to be some sort of metric that they have from HBO, some sort of deal to where they can see how much their movie is played. I mean, obviously they have a deal, so they're getting a good amount of money from HBO. And then they're getting the box office money too. But I wonder if there's a way for them to kind of measure that to know if they did make a good profit versus if it were to be in theaters only. You know what I mean?
Warner Brothers is partly, if not mostly, owns by HBO, or they own HBO. Yeah. So whatever they're still, if they're getting subscribers, they're still getting money. For that. And plus, you have to upgrade to. Apparently, there's 2 plans. I didn't even know that there were 2 plans. When I signed up for HBO Max, like in the beginning, there was only 1 plan. but apparently there's one that's cheaper that you can get with ads. It has ads.
Oh.
Plus, they don't have the option of watching the brand new movies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah. So for $5 more, you don't get ads and you get the brand new movies. I was like, okay, that's not even really... I'd sign up for it anyway, even if it was a... Yeah. I mean, I have the...
getting ads for...
Hulu accounts.
Yeah.
That'd be annoying.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
So, yeah, I just would like to... I'm just, I'm sure there is some sort of measurement that they take into consideration when thinking of like sequels and stuff like that. Because it's hard to know, because the box office, like you said, it's not going to be the same as normal. So,
yeah.
Okay, let's grade it.
All right.
What do you got?
So mine's going to be lower than yours, I'm sure. I'm giving this one, I'm going to give it an 84.
All right. I'm going 90. This is my first 90
of
this
2021.
Year. Yeah.
Of the new movies that came out.
Yes. I think The Power and Saint Maud I gave pretty high scores, but I don't think I've given a 90 yet. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't. The Power, that's still in. That's still a possibility for top 10 of the year for me.
Yeah. You said it was top when we reviewed it. I mean, that was back in like the winter, but
I said at the very least that it would be an honorable mention.
Okay.
At the very least.
All right. I don't know. We're gonna have to go back to the tapes.
You can go. I remember exactly what I said for that
movie. All right. Well, go watch it. It's really cool. Don't take it too seriously, and you'll have a good time. Yeah,
don't listen to the haters. They know what they're talking about.
All right. Well, this has been our episode on Malignant. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let Gabriel bite.